What is going on, guys? Appreciate you stopping in. In this one, we're going to go over 3 strengths and 3 weaknesses of this New York Jets offense heading into 2023. Non-obvious ones, right? Having Garrett Wilson is a strength. And thumbs up on the video is appreciated if you appreciate the content rolling during this dead season of New York Jets football. So first strength for me is ball security. Aaron Rodgers, first ever in NFL history in the lowest interception percentage with enough quarterbacks to qualify. He doesn't cough the ball up too often when he's hit either. And furthermore, the New York Jets, the last 2 seasons, have the 9th fewest turnovers by non-quarterbacks. So all those things combined, I think the Jets will be taking pretty good care of the football in 2023. The biggest weakness for me is going to be the offensive line, specifically the pass protection. All 5 projected starters, even when healthy, are better run blockers than pass protectors, in my opinion. ABT does both really well, but I still think he's an elite run blocker and a very good pass protector. Becton's a better run blocker. Lakin's a better run blocker. McGovern's a better run blocker. Even if Tippmann wins the job, I think he'll be a better run blocker early on than pass protector. And Dwayne Brown struggled as a run blocker last year, admittedly due to his shoulder. But for the most of his career, he's been known as one of the better run blocking left tackles in the game. So I think the offensive line, given normal health, can be good enough, but we will be seeing non-ideal pass protection for Aaron Rodgers. Just kind of is what it is there. The next strength for me is the red zone efficiency. And that is where Hackett and Rodgers kind of made their mark in 2020 and 2021. Although Hackett didn't call the plays, he was responsible for the red zone install. And this is Aaron Rodgers' elite processing and quick release on display. Also, the rapport he should build with Garrett Wilson, I think, will be similar, not quite immediately at the level, but similar to Devontae Adams, where there's the chemistry between them and the ability for the Hackett to design little rubs to get him open and little fade routes. Just, you saw Devontae Adams steal touchdowns. Him and Aaron Rodgers being on the same page. I think we're going to see something similar with Garrett Wilson. Breece Hall is obviously an elite red zone weapon. Guys like Mecole Hardman who can do gadget stuff. I think Tyler Conklin can be unlocked in the red zone. So I think the Jets are going to, when they get inside the 20, they're going to be punching it in at a top 5 clip in the NFL. Another weakness on this team is the drops and the lack of contested catchability. So Garrett Wilson, he actually had a lot of drops at Ohio State, and I thought that would carry him to the NFL, but it didn't really. And his contested catch ability is phenomenal. So if the ball is going up towards Garrett Wilson, we're good to go. But if we look at the next 3 guys in line, whatever order you want to put them in, Allen Lazard, Corey Davis, and Mecole Hardman, all have below average hands. Hardman with a 7% drop rate. Lazard 2 years ago had one of the highest drop rates in the NFL. And Corey Davis, we all know, can disappoint with some drops in his own right. And then furthermore, besides Garrett, we just don't have a lot of players that I think will make exceptional catches. Even Tyler Conklin, who, he had the drops early on last year, but for his career, Tyler Conklin has very solid hands, but he's not going to make contested tough catches over the middle. So I think that could be something that holds this offense back a little bit, particularly, on third down. Just, it's Garrett Wilson and then a bunch of guys with below average hands, in my opinion, besides Cobb, who's solid if he's in there in a backup role. And then if we had to project the wide receiver 6, it's either Mims, who we know has subpar hands, or an undrafted free agent who's a complete wild card. Another strength for this offense, I think, will be the yards after catch / contact ability, the explosiveness of the past 2 years. Again, even with the struggles with play calling and quarterback and everything else, the Jets have been right around league average in explosive plays. And this is really a Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall stat. I think Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, at their respective positions, given Breece Hall's health, are 2 of the most explosive and elusive players at their positions in the NFL. Garrett Wilson, when I watched him at Ohio State, had the best yak ability, and the analytics back it up, of any wide receiver prospect I've ever watched, and analytically of any college wide receiver ever. And he was second to only Deebo Samuel in missed tackles forced per target last year. You saw it. He is slippery, and obviously Breece is as explosive as they come. He was second in the NFL in explosive runs. So really good stuff there. A third weakness is going to be quarterback mobility. I think in the modern NFL, obviously you have guys like Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, but even players, young franchise quarterbacks in their prime, like Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow, are guys who can go and get you a first down on 3rd and 7. And Aaron Rodgers was that guy for the majority of his career. He had really good, what I would call functional mobility, but that's not really his game anymore. So You might see a hindrance there to the offense. Bouncing back to, I'll throw in a bonus strength here for the offense, and that is the non-offensive line blocking. I think the Jets with Corey Davis and Allen Lazard have two of the top 5 run blocking wide receivers in the NFL. And I think we'll see that not only in the run game, but in the screen game as well. And then, little counters and fakes you can run off of the screen game. And CJ Uzomah is a plus run blocker. And Tyler Conklin, for his size, he holds his own as a run blocker. And he's one of the best pass protecting tight ends in the NFL. When he's asked to hang in there and chip when you're facing the Myles Garretts of the world, he does that as well as any tight end in the NFL. So hidden strength there, even though the actual guys who are paid to block on the offensive line may not be all that great. And then one question mark I have for this team, I gave 4 strengths and 3 weaknesses. A question mark is, how are they going to perform on these 3rd and 2 or less, 4th and 2 or less situations, because they have been dreadful. And I think this is, to me, it's almost an offensive coordinator stat sometimes, right? Because the Jets, the past couple of years, they've just done, halfback dive up the middle, and it just gets stuffed. And I think here's where you have to get creative with a little pitch to Mecole Hardman, or a little fake and then a toss to Breece Hall, or whatever the case may be. But you can't do the Adam Gase halfback dive every time on 3rd and 2, 4th and 2. So that is one question mark of the offense that I have. There it is. Thanks for hanging out. Subscribe if you're new. We'll talk all soon.